we're just gonna use old fabric scrap like these, and I'm gonna make a quote onto the t-shirt. So this is what I had last week, 2 weeks ago. So this is a t-shirt, so I did a painting, and then afterward I actually do a hand embroidery. So if you want to see a little bit closer, I am just, so you see the hand embroidered here, and these are 2 different paint I'm using. And I also use acrylic paint and fabric paint, so I did both. And with acrylic paint, what you want to do it very liquidy, so it absorbs a few times. So if you want to use that, go ahead. So you can see in the link into my website, and you can see the video of that, and you can see how it's done. Now, so today I'm gonna take an old t-shirt, and basically I'm just gonna make an applique out of them. So what I'm gonna do is, you can write whatever you want. So I have some ideas, so I'm just gonna do, there are a lot of hate and negativity in the world, so I'm gonna do something inspiring, and it's also something that we need to be reminded every day. And tonight wine is a bottle from South Africa, is called the Beach House, and it's a white wine. I'm just gonna open them and let it sit for a while I'm talking. I'm actually gonna pour myself glass too. So if you haven't watched the show before, the show is basically, I'm taking something around the house and I'm basically upcycle or recycle them and into something new. So these are the premise of the show, and I basically take an inexpensive bottle of wine, and then we talk about the wine that I'm drinking. So I do a little bit tasting of it, and I basically tell you how it is, if I like it, I don't like it. Usually the wine is around $10, under 11 or less. So tonight wine is from South Africa, I believe is $9.45. So the color quite beautiful. And if you don't have a drink, go get yourself something to drink, and then we can, every time I mention the word wine or I take a sip, you should be too. So it's a Friday night. I hope you just sit back and enjoy, or if you want, go get some scrap fabric and some ribbon, an old t-shirt, and then I can show you to do something crafty as well. Cheers. I like it. So a few weeks ago, I have to tell you a story. A few weeks ago, I actually was doing the stand and doing that. I think I was doing this show for the t-shirt that you're watching right now. And I kind of tripped and I kind of snort the wine while I was doing the smell taste. And actually I snort the wine, and it actually became a really fun conversation when I was in the cab last week. Actually, a friend of mine was watching them, and so we were in the cab together, and basically we were talking to the cab driver, and so we actually have a big laugh about it, and he said, "How can you snort wine?" So I did. So there are a few things that you want to look in the wine. First, we want to have a look of the color. So the color can determine, you cannot tell what it is, but you can tell what it's not. So today wine is a Sauvignon Blanc, and it's one of the popular wine that usually a lot of people like because it's very versatile. So we're gonna do the smell test. It's a light aroma. If you want to know the wine product under the LCBO, you can also see under the link, and you can also ask questions as well. Hi, Romy. So it have a really beautiful light taste, aftertaste. I can taste the acidity because it's moistening my mouth a little bit, and it's not so dry. It's supposed to be either dry, extra dry wine in the in the contest that the taste paper, but it's actually not. I actually like this. I drank it a few times, so I thought I featured it because, well, it's summer and it's nice. All right, so how to make a quote. So I'm just gonna do. So this is an old bed sheet that we used on one of the shows, and we did I think we did the evening dress out of them. So these are some leftover. So what I did is I rip up whole bunch of scrap fabric, and basically something like this in half. So about 5/8 of an inch, or a little bit bigger than half an inch. So we strip them into this size, right? And what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna do a base stitch. So I already have the thread pre-threaded. Now, I saw something on the internet, and I actually tried it, and what it did is tell you to take a needle of any kind. So I'm gonna take something that's gigantic, and I'm gonna show you the damn thing didn't quite work. So what it tells you to do was that you take the needle, and to thread it, because most of us have problem looking at things, so it tells you to place it on your hand and then roll the thing back and forth, like so. And I thought I tried it, and it really didn't work. So it failed. Not everything on the internet is true. Alright, so you can also leave me a comment or have a conversation with me if you want to click onto the video and help me spread this around and get more people watching it by just share them on your Facebook or on your Twitter account or on your Instagram, whatever social media that you choose to use. So we talked about the acidity. I don't really the tannin is actually quite balanced in here on this wine. And I would say is a medium to medium body in the wine. Now the tasting note it also told me is have a gooseberry aroma, some citrus, grass, and light gooseberry aroma, dry, and the flavor matched the aroma with crisp, clean finish. So it definitely has a crisp finish. So I'm gonna put this aside. And we're gonna start with the leather. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna tie a knot at the ends of the thread. So basically you knot it, right? So you roll it around, and then you just kind of roll the thread, and then you make a little knot. So it have a little knot here, and we're gonna do a base stitch. So I'm gonna take this out so you can actually see I'm doing it on black. So basically we're going to do that, and then we're gonna do it across over. Now as you would do the crossover, you want to tie this, so you're gonna put the thread through the needle through the thread, and voila, so you have the base stitch. And we're gonna hide this on the inside, so I'm just gonna fold it, and then I'm gonna pass the thread, the needle through the fabric. And because I want that a lot of machine applique that you can use to do these things, so to make it show that it actually handmade, I'm just gonna put an end of it with a bead. So I have some bead ready here. I don't know if you can see, right? So a little bit crystal layer glass. So I'm gonna put the needle through it, pass it through, so you see, there you go, and it's shiny. We're gonna put it at the end, and so we have a long strip. If you don't have scrap fabric, what you can also do is you can just use ribbon, which you can get them at the dollar store if you want, or just look at your house, you can cut up an old t-shirt and use it, the thing that you didn't use anymore. because it actually requires a lot. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna base stitch it like so. Hi Kim. So I'm just gonna base stitch all around. Hi Frey, how are things going? So you see I'm just pass the needle quickly as much as I can and then just basically create a gather like so. And then pass it all through. So as you can see is pass the thread through them and then we're just gonna gather it up into a nice stick like so, right? So we're gonna do, so what I'm missing right now is I'm missing and so what I want to do is I'm gonna write you are beautiful, and it's something that we need to remind ourselves on a regular basis, and it's also a nice compliment to give to people as well. So that is the idea, and I'm just gonna make the last L on this. So I'm just gonna do stitch quickly. While we're doing this, have a drink. So I prepared most of the letter early on today because it actually takes quite a few hours to do them. And you can basically do this when you're watching video, or you can watch whatever, or listen to music. And as we do this, we can have a glass of wine as well. So I'm just gonna put the t-shirt aside so you can actually see what I'm doing. Right, so, and I'm writing a letter is about 3 inches long. So you want to make sure have all the letter consistent with one another, right? So we just pass it through here. Hi Paul, how are you Chihuahua? Oh, so Will just join us. Will is in the choir in Toronto, and they actually gone to Calgary to sing with Toronto with one of the biggest men choir that they have. So good luck, Will. So there you go. So I'm just gonna stage it quickly, and as you can see, is can be just basically simple task, and this is actually quite meditative as well. So if you want to find something to do and you want to start meditating, this is actually would be a good idea, because meditation is basically what it is. It basically bring your mind to the present and basically help you focus. So a lot of the time, most of us can seem to sit still or find it distracting and find it hard to be still. So one of the tools is you need something to help you focus or sit down for a while, and eventually you don't need the tool anymore, because we are who we are, and the tool is supposed to help engage and encourage you to do things, but eventually you will outgrow those things, right? So I'm almost done here. Hi Yang. So pass it through. So as you can see, it's kind of cool. You can do whatever way you want. I like it nice and neat. Or you can twist it and make it into like little different shade like so. But I'm gonna do them little all flat, so they look like they folded fabric on top of each other, right? So I'm just gonna do a little bit more because I need about 3 inches of this. And there you go. So basically I think it's almost a complete length of this piece of fabric. And J1. So how's it everyone doing tonight? So I'm living in Toronto at the present moment, and you might see me post stuff from New York, because I travel there, and then I also travel in Asia as well. But right now in Toronto, it's quite bizarre. We suddenly have summer because last week it was snowy and it was actually very cold. We have snow and snowstorm, and then suddenly we have 20-30 degrees this week, and it's beautiful. And I started seeding for my garden, cleaning the house. It was amazing. So that Canada weather for you, and what it's like in your weather. Here you go. So this is about the length of the letter. So I'm just gonna tie it up. So I'm gonna squeeze it down. So but I don't want it too thick, right? So, and now to tie it up, it basically put a break on it so it doesn't expand. But before I do that, I want to make sure this is nice and flat. So I'm just adjusting all the whole thing so it's not twisting. So we're gonna do this here, lay it flat on here, and then get it down, and voila. So I'm done. And what you're gonna do is, if you want to tie it together, I'm gonna pass the thread through the thing again in a loop, if you can see. And then I'm gonna add a bead. You see? It's a little shiny thing at the end, so to give a little bit extra detail. Like, hi Eric. There you go. And I'm gonna pass it through again, and then I'm gonna pass the needle through the thread, and basically I'm making a knot. And so do it a few times. So basically what you want to do is at the end of whatever you sewn, you make a few knots in that area so the thread doesn't got loosened up. And we're gonna cut it all the way as close as we can. And I'm gonna trim this up. So I got a gathering piece of material. And I'm gonna have a trick. So these are what I made earlier. So I make the R. So I'm gonna put this aside for now. I make the R, U, R. Instead of making the full letter, I'm just do like how we text. U, R. The B is a little bit funny looking, which is fine. R. This is an E, an A, U, beautiful. And then we add the piece that we just made. So you notice at the beginning and the end have a little bit of a beaded. So this, I'm gonna put it on a t-shirt like so. So you have two choices. Because we're short of time, I only have basically less than an hour to do all this. So I'm gonna glue gun it on a little bit first, and then I'm gonna base stitch it so at least you can see the finished product. So let's put this aside, and I'm just gonna make sure I put it in order so I know exactly where everything go, because when you're working with these, sometimes you get distracted, and then see, there you go. Beautiful. So this way you can work and without the fear of, you know, making a mistake. Alright, so we're gonna lay the shirt down, and I forgot to get something to put it underneath. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the piece of board under. So you want the line right on the center of the fabric. So to figure out of the shirt, the center of the shirt, you just take two edges of your shoulder seam and your armhole. You fold it together, fold it in half, and then this is the center of your shirt. So therefore, it's easier to do things. So we're gonna divide this into two. So we're gonna divide it like so. Right? So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna place this underneath. I'm gonna take this off. Right. I actually, well, let me have a drink. I'm getting a little flustered. So you notice I'm using different type of glass today, and the glass have the stamp, and ideally you drink the white wine out of stem glasses. The reason for that is you want to keep the wine chill. So when you're holding your glasses on the your hand on the glasses, and that basically the heat transfer into the wines, and it will warm up the wine. So you want to hold your glass like so, and so the wine stay chill. Basically, that one of the reasons you drink stem glasses. But if you're drinking red wine, then you don't really need to have those stem wine glasses. All right, so I'm gonna put this underneath. You know what? I'm gonna get a piece of paper and put it better, I think. So I'm gonna try this again. I just kind of came up with this idea about 3 hours before now. So I'm gonna get this, put it under. So what you want to do is you want to have about this much space from your next line. So I would say about 1, 2, 4 inches. So 4 inches down, so it where the base of the sleeve is. So just a little bit above it, so it would be like so. In here, and then the first letter gonna be U. I'm gonna glue this down. So I have the glue gun here. I'm gonna take away that, and basically you can, if you want to, I'm gonna use glue gun. Or you can actually just pin it down as well, but so I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna use the glue gun just for the edge, glue just the top, so keep everything in shape. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to sew it later as well. But because I've been making a lot of stuff for and I wanted to make something that I can actually wear. Okay. So the next two word is B, like so. So make sure you space it out. So we cut it in half so you have enough space. So I'm gonna go a little bit lower. And with the B, you basically gonna do the top, do the middle. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just gonna do a teardrop just to keep it in place, really. And make sure you lift it up so it doesn't stick to the paper underneath. Okay. And the E. So we're gonna do this. So all this you can done. This project it probably take you, if you want to do the gathering like I did, it probably take you about 3 hours or 4. It may take longer if you never sew before. I'm gonna flatten it down. Now, and then the T and the I. So, like I said, I wanted to have the applique look like is a stack of fabric or stack of paper, right? And you make sure you space everything out evenly. Ooh. Ah, that burned. Alrighty. Cheer. Top, middle, and bottom. That down. And voila. So we got half a t-shirt. Right, so we're gonna do the other side. I'm gonna open it up. And I want it to be facing me so I can actually see what I'm doing. And it's important because it's level. Like that. So the next letter is the R. So you make sure you want it aligned with the U. And I want this flat. So just twist a little bit, which you can adjust it. Spread the gather out and about. So I like how that look now. And I'm gonna glue everything down. So put a little bit on older critical point. So there you go. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sew this down. I'm gonna show you how to do that as well. Or I can just glue the whole thing. But because if you're gonna glue the whole thing, and when you wash it, after about a few wash, it might come apart. So if you want, you can actually, you want to sew it down to keep it longer. So this option you can do. You can also, the gluing, so we can either glue, like I'm doing right now, or you can just pin everything down with pin, which is not gonna make a difference. It just, because what is happening is when you glue or when you pin everything down, it just take a little bit longer, that's all. And So if you want to see what that look like, chair one. And if you want a pin, basically you take a pin here, you just pin it on top, over, and then into the fabric. Now, if you have a delicate fabric, you may have to be very careful not to make hole. So delicate fabric are silk, satin fabric, and I like this project because it's actually quite whimsical. And it's simple. You can do this with different type of color. I did almost a tone on tone for this project because I like the idea of the tone on tone. It's not overwhelming, right? So make sure it's nice and straight. There we go. So I'm gonna glue the edge. So basically, if you just tune in, I'm just gluing just the critical point of the letter so to keep its shape. And then I will hand sew it in later. And if you haven't watched the show before, you can actually click onto the video and then you can make ask me question or ask me live comment. And we can have interaction with each other. So the word I'm making is you are beautiful. And I'm gonna do just the edge. On the edge here. And then the side. A drop, a drop. And if you miss how I make this letter, I will have the video up on YouTube and on my website by Wednesday. So I do, and then you can see the instructional video. I will edit everything out, and the detail of the wine and everything, the tasting, it will be on there as well. So as you can see, so I just straighten everything out. So this look like a stack of fabric. And we're just gonna make this into a U. So the U needs a little bit of a curve, so you want to have a little bit of space here. There we go. I'm gonna move this down a little bit. So, like I say, you can pin this and then, but it's faster if you do it with glue gun. And then the last is the letter L. I should have moved this over a little bit, but oh well, too late. I wonder if I can undo it. Nope. So that's what's good about using pen. If you pin, you can probably undo it, but now I can't undo it because I glue everything down. Voila. So there you go. This is a simple application. Thank you, Vendula. All right, now I'm gonna take this knife, the scissor away. And you're gonna interact with somebody on Facebook. All right, so here you go. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hand stitch it, we might not have enough time, but you seen the full effect of what this is. So what do you think? Can you see it? So it's really very simple. So this all gonna be sewed down, but say you are beautiful. So this is a simple reminder that we all need. And it little, even though I measured the center, it's a little bit off, and it's okay. We can do that as well. So I also wear the shirt that we made a few episodes ago. So if you want to see how this is done, this is hand painted. So you have the little cat on the side. This is a big poppy flower. So I don't know if you can see. And then after the show, I actually hand embroidered this. So I don't know if you can see the detail on my shirt. And then I hand beat it in all the little center. And then in the back, we have a few of tulips. So it's a spring kind of thing. And I was encouraged. Now, what I'm gonna do is what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna stitch this down. So to show you what that does, again, you just need a single thread because you have to go in between the stitches, right? And like I said, this was used of an old sheet, old bed sheet. You can also, if you want a little bit more fancy, you can go get like fun, funky ribbon. So the ribbon you can go expensive, or you can go to the dollar store, or I don't know if wherever you live, it have inexpensive ribbon. But the thing is, it takes a lot of ribbon because this is a long piece of fabric, and we just sew down. And the bead is not in its place. I'm just gonna glue it down because I remember when I put it on, it wasn't. I didn't glue this down. And make sure it is stick to the back. And it's a little bit warm. Cheer. Hey Sang! I was telling people that when we were in the cab this week, and you were telling people how I snorted the wine. Make me fun. I don't even know where that gone with that one, but that was funny. Alrighty, so now we want to hand stitch this down, right? So to hand stitch this down, you want to start with, you wet your finger a little bit, take the end of the thread, loop it around your finger, and then you just kind of roll it, and then you kind of have a little knot at the end. Now, you're gonna do it again because the fabric of the t-shirt a little bit fine, and so I wanted a thicker stitch. So now, when you pass, so the little knot, ideally it should be bigger than your needle. So when you pass the thread through, you don't pull the thread through the fabric. That basically, that's what it means, right? And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start with the U. So we're done with the glue gun. We're gonna, oh, I just pinned myself. Cheer. So I'm gonna take the needle, go under, and then go right in the center of where I was base stitching, right? So I'm gonna pass it right through. And then I'm just gonna go into one of the pleat, and then I'm gonna go down, base stitch it, and what happened here? base stitch it, put it down, and then it basically what we're doing is we're just gonna secure the letter in its place with the stitching. So basically I'm just pass thread through the t-shirt. If you haven't watched this before and you want to see this again later, it's or if you want to support what I'm doing, there are a few things that you can do. By just simply, the best thing is you don't have to spend any money, just to simply share it on your page and get more people watching the show. If you want to encourage me to do this more, and you can also, there a Patreon page, you can become my patron, and for $1 a month you get some of the exclusive other video that I produce, and it's all free. And basically you encourage it, helping me to produce more artwork. I'm passing this through here. There you go. So you see, you don't really see them if you put the thread right in between the folded fabric. And basically you just kind of like base stitches all around. I would go about 1/4 of an inch, 3/8 of an inch in between each stitch, and it basically just kind of like base stitch it down. Now I go to half of the letter now, and what I'm gonna do is I like to secure the stitches, so I'm gonna make a knot in this here. So I'm gonna turn this inside out, and I saw that the glue is folding my t-shirt. I'm gonna put this here, and then I'm gonna finish this here, so in case if my stitches come undone or get cut off, I don't lose it, the whole thing. So to do that, you're just gonna, so the thread is here, you see it, right? So I'm gonna pass it through, and I'm taking a drink. Eyeliner. Pass it through like this, and then I'm gonna put it through the thread, loop it, and basically that make a knot. And I'm gonna do this a few times, and then pass it right over top it, and then push it through again, make one more knot, and then I'm gonna do it one more time. There you go. So that will secure it, and I will continue finish the rest of the U. So go about 3/8 of an inch, and that was where the glue was, so a little bit difficult to pass through, which is fine. Go right into it, pass through. So make sure it doesn't get caught onto anything, so you make sure it go as flat as you can. Excuse me, I think I need a drink. Alright, so I'm gonna go to the next one. There you go up, go out, and let me pour myself a drink. Now, if you like white wine, which is a nice little drink for the summer, and is not chill, right? which is a problem when you buy them from the store. They come back and a little bit warm. So white wine is best drink at around 10 degree or so. Some of them have recommendations, so you can check on whatever the wine recommendation. So one of the little trick that you can do, so this can be applied to beer, white wine. You can either take a wet piece of cloth, it's more environmental friendly than paper towel. You wet it, you covered it up, and then you put it in your fridge or freezer. If you put it in the freezer, make sure you time it about 10-15 minutes and take it out before it froze. Right? If you put it in your fridge, it's fine. And that would warm up the wine faster. So that's some scientific knowledge. What it does is the water transfer the chill into the liquid, and it actually cool down the liquid faster. Now, to take this a little bit step further, so if you want to keep your wine chill, fill the container up with water and add ice, and then place the wine inside it, and that will keep the wine nice and chill for the duration of your dinner or until you finish your wine. Hi, Paul. Alright, so let me finish what I'm doing. So we got distracted with the wine. It's actually quite good. I actually like this wine and I had it before. I'm gonna finish the wine and I will tell you the rest of the tasting note of the wine soon. So I'm gonna pass it through. So I'm gonna pass it through the folded line, and if you want, what you see I'm doing right now, my needle inside, and then I just right away bring it back up. So that, like I say, is about, it's just basically a base stitch, right? And you make sure you fold the thread so it's nice and tight, and then you pass it through again. If you like, you can pass it through a few times with each. And I'm used to do hand embroidery. If you want to learn hand embroidery, is also a good skill to have, because you can take old clothes and then you can basically mend it and recycle it and maintain it really. So if you have a little hole, if you have a button breakdown, so basically the basic foundation of the hand embroidery you can. So what you see now is because I have glue, I have to pass through, so I'm just using the hardness of the table to help me get the needle through instead of pushing my hand. I think the wine is beginning to take effect, and I'm gonna pass this over here so this is more clear. I don't know, you can see, like I say, and then pass it through here, keep it inside, and we pretty much almost done. So we have about 4 more stitches, and then we'll finish this letter. So if you have this pin down with pin, it may be easier as well, but we actually glue this down so just to show you what it could look like quickly as well. And we are done. A few more stitch. So make sure you don't stitch fabric around the area. So this application can be applied to a lot more than just what we're doing. So you can put this on a trim of a dress, on a t-shirt, or on a blouse, right? So this is just one way to use this application, which and now I'm at the end of the letter U, and I'm gonna make a knot to it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pass it to the back side of the t-shirt. So make sure it's nice and tight, and we're gonna make the knot again. So to make the knot, you pass the thread through like so. There's glue under here, so a little bit difficult to pass through and then I put it through a hole of the thread and make a knot, and then do it again right over that little knot one more time, and one more time, and we're gonna cut that up. Hi, Anthony. How's there you go. So we got a beautiful t-shirt with a compliment to other people. And as you can see, it say you are beautiful. Voila. So I hope you enjoy the show. I will tell you a little bit about the wine. So the wine is from South Africa. It's 9.45. And it's a Sauvignon Blanc. Now, the tasting note is say it's a strawberry color. That definitely is the color. It's a light yellow wine, and it's citrus tasting. That definitely for sure. It leaves your mouth a little bit moist after the taste, so it does have the citrus, and it says citrus, grass, light gooseberry aroma. So let me see. I'm not sure about the gooseberry because that aroma is a little bit hard to detect. It's dry. Yeah, I would say this is a dry wine. And it's a light body, flavor to match the aroma with crisp, clean finish. So it definitely have a crisp, clean finish. So that's the show. Next week we will feature this wine. It's EP18. It's a Pinot Noir wine, and I don't have the taste note ready because it's this one on sale. Anyway, so this is the wine. Have a look, and I believe this was the Italian wine. So we will have a taste of this next week. If you want to know what it is, I will put everything up in on my website by Wednesday. And I hope you enjoyed the show. So this is a beautiful thing. So I will be wearing around like I would wear the t-shirt, which is from the last show as well. This was hand painted. So this is the applique that we just did with extra fabric that I have from an old bed sheet. So it's just say you are beautiful, and it's kind of have a nice typography in this. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed the show. Press like or share the video if you can on your page, and just help me spread the word, because I think we need to actually recycle and upcycle that we have, so we don't contribute to damaging the environment. And this is one of the best way to actually do that, by just taking something old and then you just reimagine it what it looked like. And that would basically the premise of our show. So I hope you enjoyed the show, and thank you very much. I think we have like about 10,000 people watching from all different channels that I uploaded. And sure, so I will see you in next week. I haven't figured out what I'm gonna do next week, but I will keep you posted by Friday. So we either do some crafty, like last week we made some greeting card, so you can actually make some greeting card to give to Mother Day coming up soon. And this week we make this, and next week I don't know. We can basically make anything. So if you want to anything interested you, just send me a message, and we figure out if I can actually do that for you. Cheers.